Welcome to this week's episode of Without Regret, the podcast. This one is late, but it's worth the wait. My guest this week is SASSI Christine Malek. Christine has been through any and all forms of abuse you can imagine, and not only survived, but she is now Sur THRIV Ing. Christine has endured multiple sexual abuses, beginning at a very young age and continuing into adulthood. She's been abducted and tortured, married to not one, but two narcissistic abusers, her second husband being worse than the first, and ultimately ended up shooting her in the back of the head in 2016. After spending over a year in and out of the hospital, 4 surgeries, 15 procedures, dying on the operating table twice, all while still married to him, she finally had her aha moment in late 2018 and found the strength to leave and begin her journey of healing. This journey includes a strong passion for amplifying the voices of women who have been abused and starting the SASSI program, designed to help women find answers and to achieve their goals and objectives of discovering their true sassiness. She also hosts her own podcast called Talking Sassy About Abuse, amplifying women's voices. Her ability to overcome unimaginable circumstances is why I'm so excited to bring you this episode. Join us to find out what sassy means to her and how she was able to find her strength. Please help me welcome SASSI Christine to Without Regret. Hi, Christine. I just love the coat. I love everything about this.
Sorry. Yeah, it's Middle Tennessee. It's cold for me. I spent 3 years in Florida. This will be my third winter in Tennessee, so I'm still adjusting, getting used to the cold.
I spent 34 years in Florida, so I'm with you, and I'm now in Colorado. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for joining, and thank you for being flexible and working with me. I really appreciate that.
Yes, me too. Thank you for working with me too.
So you are, I'm assuming we say it sassy coach.
That is correct.
Did you come up with that, or is that an official thing?
Yes and yes.
Yes, you came up with it. Yes, it's an official thing. Got it. Okay.
It is. Okay, so SASSI is an acronym that I came up with many years. Sorry, I got a piece of fur in my eye.
Okay.
That I came up with many years ago when my daughter was going through Girl Scouts. I happened to be her troop leader, and I kept hearing the girls, every time that we would do something, it was, I can't, Miss Christine, I can't. Well, I also turned I can't into imagine children achieving neat things. So I made a big poster board. Well, through that process of helping girls become better girls and young women, SASSI was born. That's kind of how it happened. SASSI stands for the true SASSI. The SASSI now is SASSI, which is strong, assertive, smart, sexy, and independent. Now, obviously, I couldn't use that one sexy for little girls. So it was strong, assertive, smart, and independent, just SASI. As I went through my healing from I am a survivor of abuse, SASSI was reborn and as the full SASSI. And everything I do is SASSI related. It is, not only is it my brand, but it is my mission, my path is to help anyone, but especially women of abuse, find their sassy again. I believe that every woman has it. Call it your intuition, your gut feeling, what we have it. It is there. It is in that sacral chakra area. It's down deep. But a woman of abuse, it gets squashed. It gets almost extinguished. And it's my job, okay, because my angels said, this is for you, Christine, to help reignite that and relight that. And for that woman of abuse to say, come on, girls, let's go. Let's light this thing on fire. Part of my thing is that we ruffle some feathers and blow some minds, because I speak loud about women of abuse and being abused, because I've been there, done that. And I don't want to see any other woman go through that. So that's sassy.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Thank you.
So, Do you want to talk a little bit about your personal situation, or we don't have to go into a lot of
Oh,
for sure.
girlfriend, that is my whole podcast. My podcast is called Talking Sassy About Abuse, Amplifying Women's Voices. That's what I do. So, yeah, there is no stone that has not been turned that I did not talk about from the time I was born to, oh, I don't know, several years ago. I mean, all the abuse that I've endured. I mean, basically, there are 5 types of abuse, and I've experienced every single one. I had a family member that molested me till I was 4 or 5 years old. I had an uncle that raped me when I was 12 or 13. Had drugs and alcohol in my system very early on. Let's see, I've been gang raped so many times, raped so many times, abducted 3 times.
Oh my
The
gosh.
really bad one, I was held captive for about 4 or 5 days, completely drugged, tied to a bed. There was shit done to me that would probably be the one that I would not talk about because that is just. Then I was married. He's a narcissist. My father's a narcissist. Married my husband because we repeat those patterns till we know them. So my first husband is a narcissist. Then I got married. I had my in between time where I was that crazy party girl because I thought that's what I was supposed to be. Had way too many bad encounters. Drug and alcohol got way out of hand. I am clean and sober 7 years. Then I met my second husband, and that's where the shit really hit the fan. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I allowed
No,
to
you're
curse?
fine. No, you can cuss. It's fine.
Okay. Okay, good. Because I do on my podcast. So
Yeah, totally fine.
um okay. So the second husband I experienced every form of abuse with, from the sexual, the psychological, the verbal, the mental, and of course the physical. And the physical was everything from let's see, black eyes all the time, bruises on my body, hair pulled out in clumps, beat me with a rubber mallet so bad that he broke my wrist, cracked 3 of my ribs, and shot me in the back of the head. So there.
My mind is blown, but not for the right
I
reason
know.
at this moment.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, so now how old are we at this point?
Let's see that he shot me in the head in 2016.
Oh my gosh, so not
Is
that long ago,
Oh
really.
yeah, no,
10 years
not
ago.
that long ago. Ended up in the hospital, in and out of the hospital for a year after that incident. Still married to the SOB. Had 4 surgeries, 15 procedures. They removed, died on the operating table twice. They removed my appendix, my gallbladder, part of my intestine, and my whole left fallopian tube. The physical abuse stopped, but the all the other abuses continued till about 2017. I started getting better, started healing and being able to take care of myself somewhat. Now you got to remember the first and second surgery was, first one was exploratory, second one was fully open me up. I ripped my my body basically open, saw the alcoholism, the cirrhosis of the liver, raging infection going through my body. That took me about 8 weeks to heal from that surgery and all that. So fast forward the last surgery, April of 2017, because I had ascites so bad, and I was going. Ascites is, for anybody that doesn't know, is when your body retains fluid, and I felt like I was 10 months pregnant. Every 7 to 10 days, I'd have to go in and get pumped. So the last surgery was, they go in through the jugular and put a stent in my liver. And ever since then, I kind of healed. I got better. In 2018, I said, enough is enough. I'm done with this. There's the door. Leave my house. I don't want to ever see you again. But as every woman abuse knows, you have that opportunity for him to come back in. He did. I did things differently. I said, on the second time he came back, I said, you're just a roommate. I just need the money. You're going to pay me rent. These are my rules. You're not coming into the house until you agree to them. Of course, and he was a psychopathic narcissist, like is the worst of them, still is, I guess. Um, He agreed to it only because he needed a place for a roof over his head. And that lasted a few weeks, as is typical with every man of abuse, or woman, because it does happen. Lasted for a few weeks. As it turns out, he got the opportunity to move to North Carolina to do construction. So supposedly, that was the last time when he walked out the door that not a single shed of tear was shed, not a single tear shed. I mean, the moment of aha finally had arrived. And that was in late 2018. And I have been on this path and journey and healing adventure for these last 5 years, almost 6 years now. So, yeah, that's my story in a nutshell.
Okay, well, we can go now. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, I get that.
No, there's
Oh,
so much more. So the aha moment. Okay, so what was, I mean, being shot in the
I know, I get this. I know, I get this. I get it.
it's a pretty
I know what
big,
you're going to
like,
ask.
aha moment, right? Like, moment of, okay, something's got to give here. But obviously it wasn't, right? Because you did take him back up a couple of times, you know, yeah, pretty much. So when he did finally walk out that last time, and you said you felt that aha moment, how did you know? What was different about it this time?
I don't know if I could actually put my finger on one incident or thought or anything at that moment. Okay. I think it was a culmination of things that had transpired in between, like I said, the last physical abuse being in 2016 when he shot me in the head to 2018. Now, not only was I in the hospital 2016 to 17, but I had a very beautiful encounter with Archangel Michael, where he whispered in my ear. He said, "Christine, everything will be okay." And it's a lot longer than that. And there's moments there. Um, I think it was I just like I said, there was not one single moment, but while I was in the hospital recovering, one of the things, and I don't talk about this enough, and I probably should, um, up until that time, I had been raised Catholic. And obviously, with all the abuse that I had gone through and all the things that I realized in my adult years that I encountered with the molestation and the family members and things like that, I stopped believing in God. How could, typical of any child going through that shit, how could any God allow this to happen? So I stopped believing in God. So as I was recovering in the hospital, there was a priest, a father, a man of the cloth, whatever his religion, non-religion was, didn't matter. Every single day of recovery, he tried real hard. Christine, how you doing today? I'm fine, Father. Kind of like, go away, you're bad. Ah, you're the exorcist to me. Oh, I wanted nothing to do with him, but he was persistent. And every day he stopped by until one day he said, "Just saying hello, Christine." He actually got to a point where he kind of gave up. And I said, "Oh, wait." I said, "Come on in." And it was just that time, and we had a full blown confession. I had told him everything, and those are words that will stay between he and I. It was a culmination of all these little events that had occurred. Okay, even before the gunshot in the head, I had attempted suicide 3 times with this man that I was married to. Um, Even with the gunshot, before that I still was going, something's got to give, something's got to change. I'd look up to a God I didn't believe in and go, put me in the ground or put me in the hospital. Guess what
Put you in the hospital. Uh-oh, you
I
froze up.
chose? Okay. Oh, okay. So even with dying on the operating table, not once but twice, I still knew that something had to give, something had to be better. This could not be the life that I was supposed to lead. Okay. It's not possible. I'm a good person. I always try and help. I take care of people. I'm nice. I'm kind. I would give my last cigarette away, my last drink away. Yes, even my last drink is a full-blown alcoholic. Okay. My last, the last stitch of clothing, that was me. I was that type of person. Yes, could I have done more? Without a doubt. But even with all that, there's got to be more. There's got to be more.
And there's got to be
And
a
I think
reason you're still here after a
clearly,
gunshot to the back of the head. Yeah.
right. And with everything, and that's just the high point of my life. Okay. I mean, like motorcycle accidents, dying on the operating table, near death encounters. And I mean, like I scraped by, surviving some of the shit that I survived when I was on my own. I should not have survived. Okay.
Yeah.
Driving drunk, riding a motorcycle drunk. I should not be here. Okay. Attempting suicide 3 times just with 6 total in my life. Okay. I should not be here. So there got to a point where I went, there's a reason I'm here. Why am I here? And I still fought it till it just kind of came. Okay. And that moment was, and I remember perfectly. I was asked to be on a podcast and actually tell my story for the first time, and I was scared to death. Okay, especially part of it being shot in the head and my encounter with Archangel Michael. And I was scared to death. Oh my God, I've never told because of all that shame and guilt and all those negative feelings that go along with being a woman of abuse. But I did it. And when I got done and we ended the recording, and I went, holy fuck, that was beautiful. Okay. I mean, it was like, whoa, talk about another weight being lifted because I still carried around all that guilt. And it was through my angels. It was through my angels basically saying, through their ways of communication, that just as you said, okay, that you are destined for bigger things, Christine. You cannot leave this earth just yet. You have to share your story. You have to give that hope to other women out there, because Tamara, I don't know if you know the statistics for women of abuse, but it used to be when I first started this 3 years ago, it was 1 in 4 women will experience abuse in their lifetime. Okay. Now, as of 2023, in October, when I looked it up for, excuse me, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, 1 in 3 women will experience abuse. Okay. The statistic used to be I'm sorry, let me rephrase that, because it used to be 1 in 4 will experience, 1 in 3 are experiencing. So we've gone to will to are. That 1 in 3 women are being abused. Okay. Back then, when I first started 3 years ago, it was 1 in 7 will not make it out alive. That statistic, no longer. Okay. It's 1 in 5 will not make it out alive. And that's just something I can't live with. I can't, because we can change it. We can fix it. I did. I'm a perfect example of going from being a woman of abuse and being an abused woman and all those ways that I was abused to being this beautiful, sassy woman you see before you.
Right. I hear you. One thing that's been going through the back of my mind throughout this whole conversation, though, is how is he not in jail after shooting you in the back of the head?
Well, because I know. Okay. So that's one of the two, that's one of the two questions that I always get asked.
Yeah.
Did you seek medical attention, and is he in jail? Okay. No and no. um, because of all and I think there's a little bit of that Stockholm syndrome that women of abuse experience. Okay. For the way I explain it is that, and it's hard for somebody that has never experienced this to understand. So this is the easiest way that I found for you to understand. So picture a bell, okay? You start out a little bit of curve and then you go up to the top, okay? I always picture the big Liberty Bell, and like I said, I I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. So the Liberty Bell is just really easy for me to picture. So when you get into that relationship, it doesn't go from, it's not today is all unicorns and rainbows and all of a sudden tomorrow is full blown abuse. Okay. It starts on that curve. Okay. It's just little nuances, little things here and there till it gets to that culmination. And it could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years to where it finally curves up and just full blown abuse. Okay. Now, not to say that it doesn't go from A to B immediately. It happens. So in my situation, and a lot of women's situation, is that you have to remember we still love this person.
Right.
There's love in our hearts for that person. I married this man knowing, but not admitting that he was not a good fit because of all those childhood traumas that I had endured. I didn't know what love was. So, or a good, healthy love, I should say. I have no clue what a good, healthy love relationship looks like. I never experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Never had it from my parents. They were 18, a narcissistic father, other family members that abused and molested me. Okay. I turned to sex at a very early age because that's what I learned. So I have no idea, we always have that I can fix him, okay, with all this love that I do have in me because I don't want anybody else to experience.
I can get it back to the way it was in the beginning before
right, that too.
Oh yeah, I'm there. I
right. Right, because let's remember he's also a narcissist for the most part. Okay. So the next day's always, honey, I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. Here's a special gift, So, it's a really bad up and down.
It's a mind fuck is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So, and like I said, we still love him. So there's, oh, okay, maybe this time will be different. Oh, just maybe this time will be different. Till you finally get to a point where you say, fuck you, pal, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, which is either, unfortunately, we do attempt suicide, drugs and alcohol, or we find other ways that are not healthy to deal with it. And
and at that point, when you are done and walking out the door is the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship.
Yes. And because
that's some people want to leave, they're ready to leave. They literally cannot leave. So there's that too. But
yes,
but the question is, why is he not in jail?
So because, I still have love for him and, maybe that he'll change, maybe things will happen. There was a part of me that also believed that karma, at some point I have to stop having negative feelings in me to heal properly. Yes. I have to stop the revenge. I have to stop the regret. I have to stop wanting karma to, can you get there a little sooner? And I did. I went through all those thoughts and feelings and stages to say, could you please take care of him? Early on in my healing, and I had done some interviews, I was asked that question, and I had said early, if he showed up at my doorstep, I'd probably knock him the fuck out. Okay. Then extend my hand, help him up off the ground and say, hi, how are you? Well, now I know through healing that's not healthy for me. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of it is I have to forgive and have that compassion that he is another human being, that he's hurting in his way. It's not my fault that he hasn't found the right way to fix it, to heal it, but I don't have to deal with him. He is who he is. My little tinge and cringe is that he's doing this to another woman.
Someone else, yeah.
That's my biggest
thing. That's kind of where I was actually kind of getting to also, because we're talking about the statistics, right? So how many of those women, 1 out of 3, is the same abuser abusing another woman? Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, is it 1 in 3 men are abusers? I don't know. And then, so yeah, that's kind of where I was getting to at, because now he's not abusing you anymore and you're free and you're happy and you will probably never put yourself in that type of a situation again. But he could potentially be doing that to someone else. And I don't say that at all to like point the finger at you, blame you, or any, please don't take it that way.
No, I don't. Because what I do in my coaching, in my speaking, in my podcast is if I can empower every single woman listening out there, then she will have enough to say, those red flags, okay, that they'll be so bright in her face that she'll be able to not only set boundaries, but to be able to keep those boundaries and have enough of her own sassy reignited to say, sorry, dude, you're not it. I ain't that desperate. There's the door.
Right. There's one.
If I can't reach, I was gonna say, if I can't reach him, then I can reach other women.
Right. Right. Because you can't, or as an individual, any one of us, we can't control that person's behavior, like you said. And obviously that person probably doesn't think they need help. Right? He's not asking for help. So there's that.
I don't know. There's, the man is 61 years old. If he doesn't know what he's doing by now, I'm sure he's very well aware. He has learned this trait of survival since he was 16 years old and probably even before that. Okay, because of his childhood trauma. I don't blame him. I've forgiven him for all that. Yeah. Okay, I understand where it comes from, but that doesn't give him an excuse to do what he does.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and to not recognize that he needs help.
Exactly.
To figure out a better way to handle life. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But then on the other hand, it's like, gosh, why do we as women have to be the ones to? But it's not bad. It's certainly not bad for any woman to understand their worth, our worth, and know that we do have the control over these types of situations. And if we can recognize those red flags in the beginning, if not here, recognize it here.
Yes.
And listen to it and listen to our intuition and know that we're not crazy. So that's never a bad thing. Definitely never a bad thing.
Right.
So how do you accomplish this?
Okay. So through all these years of healing and discovering all the different things that I had to do, there's actually 7 steps to being sassy. Okay. What I discovered is that there's a whole lot more outside those 7 steps. Okay. And I actually put it into a full, I don't do group coaching anymore. What I do is a full-blown 12-week one-on-one. There is group involved, but it's a one-on-one 12 weeks where those 7 steps are taken into account in that 12-week program. Okay. To give you an idea, and just so that you know, the first step of the 7 steps to SASSI is surrender. Okay. You basically have to say, you know what? I got to stop fighting. I have to stop thinking I can change the outside. I have to surrender to that there's a higher power, whatever you want to call it, that is guiding me to be who I am supposed to be. And we go through and actually discover what are those, okay? What are those signs? What are those repeating numbers, or, animals that you see all the time, or songs that you hear all the time? We actually go through a full-blown, there's a whole workbook involved in everything. But step 1 is surrender, okay? Step 7 is, and the final step is, help another woman. If it's your friend, if you've gone through this program and it's your friend that you see is possibly experiencing, you'll learn the tools and the techniques to approach your friend and say, not, hey, are you okay? Okay. Because that doesn't work, because a woman of abuse is going to say, yep, I'm fine. Right. I'm fine. Let me hide my bruises, but I'm fine. Okay. You'll learn to be able to say, how can I help you? And the different ways of identifying that there's a possibility there. Okay. We don't really know. We never know. And if she's not ready, she's not ready. But that's part of the full 12-week program. Step one is surrender, to just let, it's like that saying, let go, let God. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever your higher power is. But it's such a, what's the right word? It's such a
Relief.
enlight. No, it's even more than that. It's an enlightenment. Okay, when you can just, when I did it, it was absolutely, it was ugly. Okay, I mean there was lots of crying, and I went, oh my God, and what do I do? And I was alone when I went through this. Okay, but afterwards, when it was all done and the ugliness was done, and I listened to my intuition, okay, and I listened to what my guides were telling me, it was like the angels were singing, like you would see in the movies. Oh, okay. I mean, it was beautiful. It was like, whoa, this is what if you, because what happens is, as a woman of abuse, you are being controlled. So when you get out of that situation, you want full control of everything. And that's hard to give up because you didn't have it. Now you want it, or
Yeah.
so we think we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's intense, but it's beautiful. It really is. It is absolutely beautiful. I give out a certificate for every woman that passes through because she earned it. She earned it.
So how did you get there on your own? You just kind of like,
Well, I shouldn't say, I know, I shouldn't say I was completely alone. I did reach out to other coaches. I sought shamans and spiritual leaders and spiritual persons to help me understand what I'm feeling, what I'm going through.
okay.
But honestly, Tamara, a lot of it was them. Okay, on this shoulder sits Archangel Michael, and on this one is Archangel Gabriel. And I learned to listen to both of them through actual talking. Okay, like I mean, full blown conversations. Okay, the last conversation. Now I know that they're always there, but the last full conversation that I had with Archangel Michael, I was fighting. Okay, and this was just before I did my full total surrender. I was yelling at him and cursing and cussing at him, and why am I going through this? Why is this so hard? Why is this happening to me? This, I thought this was the path you wanted me on. And I was in bed at night, and he showed up, and he had his wings spread wide out and his arms crossed. And I was like, what? I had the whole full blown attitude, right? And he just stood there. And I said, what? And he basically said, what did I tell you? I said, I don't want to hear it. I'm done with. See, what had happened the first time I had my encounter with Archangel Michael years earlier, he whispered into my ear and said, everything will be okay. So as he's standing there with his wings spread out and his arms crossed at me, okay, and I'm fighting him, okay, and I'm, with my words, I'm, why are you doing this to me? You told me everything would be okay. Why is this happening? And he just stood there. What did I tell you? I said, I know, but no buts, Christine. What did I tell you? I said, Michael, I know, but this, but this, but this. I mean, the whole list of everything. Christine, what did I tell you? And at that moment, like it just lifted. Okay. I mean, like everything that was in me gone. And I said, okay, you said everything will be okay. And he said, then why are you fighting this? Why are you trying so hard for something that's not your path? Okay. So guide me. Do what I have to, show me what I need to do. And he does, little by little. And shortly thereafter, he sent in Gabriel, and I get messages through through my spiritual leaders, okay, where she'll just talk and we'll finish, and I'm listening, excuse me, and then we'll get done, and she'll go, "Did I just say something?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you said a lot." She said, "What did I say?" I said, It doesn't matter. It was Gabriel speaking through you to me. I got what I needed to do. I know what I need to do. I know the path that I'm supposed to take. I mean, it could be animals. I mean, it's my again that surrender that when I feel like I'm starting to stress things, starting to question things, that I can go, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna sit back. And I really do. I sit back and I just look, all right, tell me what you need me to know. Tell me what you need me to do. Tell me where I'm supposed to go. Tell me how I'm supposed to do it. You guys, these guys, are in control. And they really are. And when I gave my control to them, life just became so much better. It's it's uplifting to know that I don't have to make certain decisions. I mean, yeah, some things, my daily things, okay, but those big things, those things that are in regards to my coaching and my career and where am I going and speaking. I mean, if that, I even have those types of conversation. Okay, so I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant, and I don't know what I think those, at least those, but all those gifts get fine-tuned with time. Okay. I see people's auras. I see people's pain. I feel their pain. Like sometimes I gotta go, okay, is that my pain I'm feeling in my body or is somebody else going through it? Okay. But when I let go, life is just beautiful. It truly is beautiful. I have to watch myself when I'm around crowds, because I pick up I can't go to funerals, okay? But all that emotion, I just it's like no, I can't do funerals. I can't. Um, it's just letting go. It's a beautiful thing when you can surrender to that and say, okay, you take the wheel, you guide, you lead. Just I'm along for the ride. It's beautiful.
It sounds beautiful. Yeah, it really does. And I should probably listen to those messages more myself. I get them. I get the messages. I started this podcast and then things, I was struggling with it. I wasn't able to find people to be guests, and the people that I thought that I know who've been through stuff that I thought would be wonderful to have on, they were like, no, I don't want to do it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even occur to me that they wouldn't want to do it. And then, so I kind of took a break for a while. I wasn't doing it. And, but there were so many signs. People would reach out. Hey, are you still doing the podcast? Hey, what's going on with this? And over like a 6-month period, enough signs came that I was like, okay, I guess this is what I should be doing. I need to get back on this. I need to do it. And that's when I found Podmatch and have found amazing, wonderful people like you who have just incredible stories to come on and share. And I'm so grateful. But I don't listen to those signs enough.
I'll give you another perfect example. Okay. So this is the SASSI studio. We talked about this earlier. It's my barn. Okay. Um, Before I came out here, I was like, I really don't want to go out there. I don't want to do this. I know what I want to talk about, but I'm just not feeling it because I too am struggling to find guests. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I have to. I don't want to be a pod fade. I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And just before I got ready to come out here, my phone rang and I looked and it was a really good friend of mine that I just connected with. Her and I are so aligned, like we were destined to meet. Okay. So I called her back as soon as I got outside and she picked up the phone. Hello. And I said, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now we're both AA, recovering alcoholic addicts, the whole 9 years. So she knew. She's like, oh my God, girlfriend, are you okay? Like everybody. Anyway, my point being that through the conversation with her, I went, oh my God. And she says, what? I said, this is Gabriel speaking to me through her. Okay. And she said, what did I say? I said, you don't know what you said? She said, no, what did I just say? I said, it doesn't matter what you said. I got the message. What I thought I wasn't going to talk about, I definitely need to talk about. and which is my full blown, the whole the how I met Archangel Michael that very first time, what happened, what I experienced, what I felt, and the message that I needed to give out to my listeners. She's like, well, then you got to do it. I'm like, I know, I got to go. Bye. I mean, those are those little signs. I talked about this in one of my previous episodes that it could be repeating numbers, music that you hear over and over again. Those are your, animals that you see 2, 3, 4 times. That's your angels trying to reach you. Coins on the ground, feathers. That's a big one. All those nuances, those coincidences, though we both know that there are no such thing as coincidences, that your angels are trying to get in touch with you. And we as humans, we tend to brush it off, just push it aside. And I learned that everything is our angels trying to talk to us. I just seem to get the messages a little differently than most, I guess.
Well, I think that your mind is open to it and you're willing, you are seeing them and willing to see them and take them for what they are. And I think that makes a big difference. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. There's times I'm like, yeah. I hear you. I hear the message loud and clear. Like, yeah. But my mind is probably honestly not as open as yours is to it on a daily basis.
It's really,
and they have to shout really loud to get my attention.
But it's even easier than that, Tamara. Just take 3, 5, 8 deep breaths and just feel the moment. That message that you're supposed to get, it'll come. You'll know what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You'll know. I mean, I know it sounds easy, but life is busy. Life happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like and I don't want to give the wrong impression. I mean, there are days where I'm going, I got to get this newsletter done. I got to get these notes done. I'm working on this. I got this. I get it. I'm there. But then I get and I hate to say it this way because of what I talk about, but I get the slap upside the head, okay? Where they're going, okay, Christine. And that's where I go outside. I go in nature somehow and I just breathe. Okay. It may take me 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Okay. Whatever. It could be an hour, but I go outside and I breathe and I go, okay, what are you guys trying to tell me? What do I need to know? And I just sit with it for a moment. That's it. I mean, sometimes it's you just needed to sit for a moment, Christine, or that's not your feelings, Christine. You're not feeling all anxious. That's not you. Okay. When I take a deep breath and I just let it pass and I let those feelings release that are not mine. They're not my feelings. You're right, because I am so conscious. I mean, I go, okay, am I feeling that or is it somebody else that, and it doesn't even have to be in my house. Okay. But now it's like, okay, there's a reason that I was gifted these. There's a reason so I go with the flow. I just let it happen.
Do you know who those people are? You have no idea. What I'm thinking that to them, you're the angel.
No family, no friends. I mean, to me, they're just strangers.
I know, but I think you're their angel.
That's what I've been told. I felt it all, but I have no idea who these people are.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So don't go through life with regrets, right?
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. That's
You're welcome.
All of those things that happen to us or that we've done that we might regret that, whatever, like the regret's not going to help anything. You can't go back and change anything. All it's going to do is weigh you down and weigh your life down and learn something. You can learn something from every single one of those situations. So
yes.
Wow. Well, how do you reach people or how do people reach you? I guess would be the
yes. So Facebook, I'm on Facebook as the Sassy Coach Christine. Okay. Website sassycoach.com. I'm pretty much everywhere. I want to make sure every woman can reach me however, whenever she needs. My phone number is listed, text messaging, direct messages. I do it all because unfortunately this shit happens around the world.
Yeah.
And we're all in different time zones. I can't tell you how many times I've taken, got woken up from my phone going ding, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, wake up. You're needed, Christine. You got to help. I've actually talked 3 people off the ledge. And I'm not touting my own horn. I'm not patting my own back. I want people to know that that's one of the biggest things on my podcast is I say, you're not alone. You're not alone in this. So yeah, just type my name, Christine Malek, Google search it, or of course the podcast, Talking Sassy About Abuse, Amplifying Women's Voices. I'm all over the place. Google my name, Google Sassy Coach Christine. You cannot miss me. Seriously.
Awesome. What kind of people are you looking for to be guests on your podcast?
I want women that are willing to share their story. Okay, because it is such a integral part of the healing process. So anybody that would like to share their story, no matter how small or big or whatever they think it is, let's talk, let's have a conversation. And I also would I'm looking for experts on narcissism, childhood trauma, anything that can. I actually have a woman coming. I'm interviewing her in the 3rd week of December on how your clothes and your fashion can help your mind. I can't wait. It should be absolutely fast. So how, you got to understand any woman of abuse has been so squashed and stepped on by somebody that was supposed to love her. So however we can help her mind, body, and soul, I am all for it. I collaborate with everybody. If I think that they could help that woman of abuse, they're in.
Well, I really appreciate you and, weathering the chilly temperatures there out late, staying up for this. I really appreciate you.
It's all good.
And
it's
keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting the good fight. Here's, I don't know, I might not remember saying this when this is over, because this might be Gabriel speaking through me, but keep it up. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And bless you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. And yes, we have to get together about you coming on mine also.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my story of abuse is not, is extremely mild compared to most, but I have dealt with it. So yeah, sure. I'm happy to talk.
That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that's okay, because that whole no regret thing, that's what I want to get into, that we have to not live with that regret. And you just said that earlier, that it does more damage. I know. I love it. I know when I saw that on Podmatch, that's it.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Well, you have a good evening, and I hope you get to go inside your warm house now.
I am.
Okay, good.
Dinner's waiting for me, so good.
Good. All right.
Thanks,
you.
Annie. Thank you. I love you. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Without Regret, the podcast. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to ask you to please like and subscribe. Leave me a review wherever you get your podcast. That would be really awesome, because that's how my podcast is going to get noticed. So that would be a huge help, or share it on your social media would be awesome as well. Thank you so much. This podcast is a Without Regret production, which is produced by me. Artwork is by me. Everything's by me except for that theme song. That's by a guy named Michael Bruguglio. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Without Regret Podcast, and on Instagram at without_regret_podcast. Thanks again.